It's generally accepted that 2015 was a mess of a year for Gibson. If you own a 2015 or you're looking to pick one up, I'm going to tell you how I turned mine into a guitar that I can really enjoy with just a few small changes. I'll be demonstrating the changes on this 2015 Deluxe, but they can be used across much of the 2015 line. Let me start by talking about this Deluxe first. It has a mahogany body and neck, maple top, rosewood fretboard as you would expect, Les Paul signature on the headstock and hologram on the back. It has a 0 fret adjustable nut, which I really like now that I've sorted out the initial problems. A chunky asymmetrical neck, G-force tuners, which, spoiler alert, I've already replaced. They came in 4 colours: wine red, cherry sunburst, pelham blue and Goldtop, like this one. New redesigned mini humbuckers, although technically I think they might be classed as Firebird pickups, which are a bit different. Let me know what you would consider them to be down below in the comments. 3-way toggle, supreme grip speed knobs, 15 dB boost, and coil splittable. I've added some strap locks because I'm not a savage. The first issue, which may actually be its biggest issue, is the nut. It came stock with a brass nut, and it was just too soft and not fit for purpose. The strings would chew into the brass within no time, and I think coupled with the robotic tuners, it just didn't help at all. Luckily, the fix is quick, easy, and in most cases, even free. Gibson offered replacement titanium nuts for free for all guitars across the 2015 line that suffered with this issue. I emailed Gibson European Customer Services mid-2018, and they immediately sent one out. It's a drop-in replacement and height adjustable using the included Allen keys. Since installing, I've had no issues. It sounds good and it looks like it's going to last a long time. I'm not sure if Gibson still offer these replacements for free, but I'm sure that they would. If not, Graphtec make a drop-in replacement tusk nut, and their stuff is always really good. I can definitely recommend it. The second problem with these are the dreaded G-force tuners. I kept them on for a couple of years. I played some gigs with them, but it was always a very tense moment when pressing that tune button. In front of a crowd of people, you never knew what was going to happen. Sometimes they worked really well, sometimes they didn't. Tuning to the wrong octave was not unheard of. I would avoid changing strings whenever I could, and eventually after a couple of string changes I broke one of the locking nuts, and I just decided that this whole system was too unreliable to be gigging with. I searched around for my options. I didn't really like the idea of drilling into the Les Paul's headstock. I also didn't really like the idea of taking it to a tech for something that realistically I knew that I could do myself. So I decided on the HIPSHOT locking tuners, which use something called the universal mount plate, which means you don't have to drill into the headstock. They took just a few minutes to install. They feel very high quality, and since then I've put on another 3 of my guitars. The electronics were never a problem for me. I really like the 15 dB boost circuit. It can really bring the guitar to life depending on the situation. Lastly is the asymmetrical neck shape, and this neck feels huge. I'd say this is the biggest neck I've ever played. They made the fretboard extra wide, and it feels a million miles away from any other Gibson neck shape I've played. It makes my 50s neck shape feel like a 60s, and it makes my 60s neck shape feel like a broom. But you can get used to it. At least I did, and admittedly it did take a few hours, but it can be done. I'm not going to say I prefer this neck shape over any other Gibson neck carve. I really like the 60s profile best, but it's a good neck. It's just a bit different. So let's hear it in a track, followed by some unprocessed sounds. Oh, and if you're getting value and enjoying this content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. The plus side to the questionable changes that Gibson made that year is that you are able to pick these guitars up for a really good price. I was able to not only get this, but another Gibson at the same time, back in 2015, brand new, for half the recommended retail price. In my opinion, the only feature that should be considered a possible deal breaker is the neck carve. There's not much you can do about it realistically, except try to get used to it. Let me know down below if you've made any changes to your 2015 Gibson, or if you're one of those people that actually really like the changes they made that year. If you enjoy guitar-based content, then please subscribe, and I'll see you later.